Hi, my name's Sean Taylor and welcome to Volume 3 of No Fail Kids Show Magic. On this volume we're going to look at a number of the tricks that you'll find in the magic shop. So common or garden kids magic tricks with some routines and some help and some tips and some advice on some extra bits that you might add to those tricks to make them a little bit more interesting. The audience that we're going to see in this show is around the age of 6. And you'll see that it was towards the end of the day of filming, and I'm very much in the trenches. The kids are not really behaving themselves, they are acting up, and I'm under a little bit of pressure, but you can see that I've added some extra bits to the tricks to make them a little bit more interesting. Sit back, relax and enjoy the show, and I'll be back with the explanations a little bit later.
Oh, marvellous. It looks like we're almost ready to start. Now, has everybody filled themselves up with something to eat? Yeah! Oh, I couldn't help noticing some boxes out there which have inside my favourite food. Shall I tell you what that is? I'll tell you what it is. It's Krispy Kreme donuts. I love them. I ate 2 of them. Did anyone like one? No! Ooh, no, yuck. Now, I'd like to start the show today by showing you a very famous magic trick. Very, very famous. I'm going to try to produce, if I can, a rabbit from a hat. A world-famous magic trick, the rabbit from the hat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Top it up, and when I snap my fingers and reach inside, I will produce a rabbit from a hat. Hang on. Wait a minute. Something's gone wrong here. I've produced a hat from a hat. That's a bit silly, isn't it? I was trying to produce a rabbit from a hat. What I was trying to do was to reach into the hat and to pull out from the hat. Looks a bit like a rabbit's ear. Ah, yes. A rabbit from a hat. There we are. Okay, well, it's not a real rabbit. It's a pretend rabbit, but it looks like a rabbit all the same. Now, you know what magicians do? Apart from making rabbits appear, they like to do big things with handkerchiefs and flowers. You're absolutely right. I'm going to show you my famous flower trick. Here it is. The flower trick. Now, this is a very colourful trick. And so we're going to have a little test before we start to see how good you are at your colours. 2 coloured handkerchiefs, a red one and a blue one. We're all going to call the colours out after I count to 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3! Who said red and blue? Yellow and green. Red, blue, yellow and green, the colours of the flowers I'm going to make by magic using my special flower box. Here we go. To make the flowers, I'm going to wave the wand and tap the box 3 times, and I need you all to call out the magic words abracadabra. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I tap the box 1, 2, 3 times, and inside it... There's nothing inside. Ah, I know what it is. I have to tap it on the inside. That's what it is. I'm going to tap it on the inside, and we'll call out the magic words after 3. 1, 2, 3. Abracadabra, and it... It's usually when I tap it inside like that, what happens is a flower appears inside. Hang on a second. I'm sure that's still not quite right. It's supposed to be a much bigger flower than that. So I'll do 1, 2, 3 and we'll do abracadabra one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Abracadabra. Ah, that looks better. That looks like a nice big bunch of flowers. Well done. Goodness me. Now, I've actually got 2 parties to go to today. I've got this one right now and another one later. This is a party for my nephew and I've brought him a present. Would you like to see it? Yes. Let me show you the present that I've got him. It's one of my favourite things. I always liked it when I was at school. It's a colouring book. Now, these colouring books are nice and big with nice big pictures. And you know what I like to do? I always like to look through and find my favourite picture first. So when I got this colouring book home, you know what I did? I looked through to try and find a picture, but unfortunately there are no pictures inside my book. So that's why I need your help. I need your help to try and draw some pictures. So everybody, pretend you've got in your hand an invisible magic pencil. Hold it up nice and high, because all together we're going to try and draw some pictures inside my book. I'll hold up the book and I want you to think of something magic that you can draw, yes. Try and draw a magician or a magician's assistant, or perhaps you could draw a dove or some rabbits. Draw some magic pictures for me and then tell me when you've finished.
Stop!
Finished? Finished? You finished? You finished? Has everybody finished? Okay, let's have a look and see how you did. Oh my goodness. They are the best magic pictures I've ever seen. I think you should give yourselves all a big round of applause. Give yourselves all a big clap. Whoever did the rabbits, they're fantastic. Now, shall we try to colour them as well? I think that's what we'll do. We'll try to find someone to help us with that. Let me see if I've got a volunteer who'd like to help me with this. Perhaps someone from the girls. Would you like to help? Give her a big clap for coming up, everybody. Here she comes. She looks very nice and just perfect. Would you stand just here for me? That's right. We need to know who you are. What's your name?
Piper.
Piper. That's fantastic because that's my middle name. Now, Piper, you're going to do some colouring with me, and to make sure that you do this perfectly, I want to make you look a little bit more colourful. So I'm going to give Piper a hat to wear. Would you like to see this? It's a very special magic hat for Piper. It's a blue hat. It's very colourful, and she's going to... It's not very big. Would you like to see it a bit bigger?
Yeah!
All right, we'll make it a little bit bigger. In fact, what we'll do is we'll make it into a yellow hat. A bigger yellow hat. There we are. I'm not sure it's going to stay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'll make it into a slightly bigger red hat. There we are. A red hat just like that. That will be perfect for Piper. There we are. What's your favourite colour, Piper?
Yellow.
Yellow. Well, I like yellow and I like red, but you know what my favourite colour is? It's green. Let me show you what happens when I open the hat one more time. It's a beautiful green hat. Look at that, Piper. I think it might be a little bit large for you, but I think it will make you look absolutely perfect. In fact, everybody will think that you look really beautiful wearing that hat. For some reason they laughed at that, Piper. Look at that. So, you don't want to wear that? I don't think you want to wear that side either, do you? No, yuck. Ugh. All right. I'll tell you what, hold on to the book for me and hold it up nice and high so everyone can see you. That's perfect. Now, here's how we're going to make it nice and colourful, everybody. I've got here a nice big scarf, a magician's magic scarf. What I want everybody else to do is to look around in the air and try and find some of those little pieces of dust that you see floating around when the sun comes out. You see, all of that dust comes off your clothing and all of it's very slightly colourful. See if you can find some of those little pieces of dust for me. As soon as you do it, grab a nice big handful so that everybody's got a handful of dust. I'm going to wave my scarf and I want you to throw the dust and I'll try and catch it on my scarf. Okay, off you go. Throw the dust now as hard as you can and I'll try and catch it on my scarf. Look at that. Lots of nice colours on my scarf, ready to try and colour the book. Hold it up, Piper, so we're ready to go. I'm going to wave all the colours over here and try to shake all the colours into the book by magic. Are you ready? Here we go. I'll give it a good shake. and all of the colours disappear from my scarf, which means, with any luck, Piper, they're going to be inside here, perfectly painted inside the coloured pictures. If they are, you can give yourselves a huge clap. Oh my goodness, look at that. Very good. That's absolutely perfect. Now, I've got one more problem, and that is, when I give this colouring book to my nephew, he won't be very happy if it's all coloured in. So I tell you what I'll do. I'll give it a good shake, and I'll shake all of the colours away, and then when he gets the book, he'll be able to do his colouring. Ah, yeah, absolutely perfect. Give yourselves and Piper a nice big clap. Very good. Now, Piper, you have done such a marvellous job of helping me with the colouring. I'm going to give you a nice little prize to take away with you. Let me see. Yes. I think this will be perfect. I want you to watch this very carefully. I'm going to do it slowly, and let's see if anybody thinks they might know what it is. And if they do, put up your hand if you can guess, whilst I'm making it, what you think it might be. Put up your hand if you think you know. What do you think it is? A teddy bear. Well, there's a very good guess, because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a little blue teddy bear. Here's his face. He's not quite finished yet. He needs some arms and some legs. Now, Piper, you look after the teddy bear just for a second, because I'm going to make something else for him. A little seat to sit on, almost like a little swing. Now, so far, this looks like a big set of lips, or maybe a rabbit's ears. No. I'm going to make a couple of twists with this one, and a turn over here, and as soon as it's warmed up enough, it's going to change shape. It's going to make a little swing for the bear, which looks a little bit like a little red heart. And that bear's going to sit inside there, just like that. Now, he's almost finished, but not quite. I want to make him to look a little bit nicer than this. Hold on to that for me for a second. Yeah, one of these will be perfect. The pink ones are a little bit tricky to blow up, so I can only blow up so much. And with a bit of a twist around, it makes a beautiful little tulip. A little flower. And this is going to be for the bear to hold in his hand. There we are. A little pink flower in the bear's hand, just like that. And that, Piper, is for you to take home. Give her a big clap, everybody, as she goes back to sit down. Fantastic. Good job. Now, I think we've done a pretty good job here, so what I think we need are 2 more people to help who haven't helped yet. I think you would be perfect to come and help me right here, and a young man right there. Would you come and help me? Yes, good boy, right there. You come and stand over this side. Terrific. We need to know who you are. What's your name?
Ben.
Ben. And who are you?
Arabella.
Arabella. This is Ben and Arabella, who are going to help me with some very funny invisible magic. Inside this little box, I'm going to show you what's inside here. There are some little hankies, but they are completely invisible. Let me show you the first invisible hanky. It's a little red one. Would you hold on to that for me, Ben? That's good. Hold it up in that hand and lift it up so we can't see it. That's perfect. Good. This one over this side, this is a little blue one. Would you hold that one up nice and high there? And last of all, this is the yellow one. I'm going to hold on to the yellow one. Now, I want you to hold them up like this so that everybody can see them. Yeah, good. And I'm going to take your red one, my yellow one, and your blue one, Arabella. I'll give you them all. I want you to tie them together for me. Will you do that? Just tie them in a little knot like that. Very good. She's doing a very good job here. And I'll put them inside the little box. Oh, wait a minute. You can't see them, can you? You're never going to believe me if they're invisible. Let me give them back to you. Untie them again. That's perfect. Come back over this side, Ben. That's good. Hands by your sides. Face the front. Nice big smile. Good man. We'll do it again, but this time we'll do it so you can see them. So Arabella, pop them back inside the box for me. That's perfect. We're going to turn them all so that you can see them. So to make this work, now were you red or blue? Can you remember?
Red.
You were red? Okay, right. So a red and a blue, that's perfect. A red and a blue, is that right? Is that the right way around? I can't remember if it's that way. Okay, perfect. Now, what are you doing with that? Whatever. Oh, you have to squeeze them with your fingers and thumbs and then hold them up like that. Give it a good squeeze. No, that's my finger. Right. Hold on to it nice and tight. Have you got it? Are you sure? Both of you hold it. That's perfect. Now. Oh no, look at that. It's gone like two funny pairs of legs. Look. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll see if I can fix them. Here we go. Don't worry, I'll fix them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. I must stop doing that. Hold on to it tight this time. Have you got it? Perfect. Now. Oh dear. Don't worry, don't worry. I've got some spare ones. Right. Okay. Here we go. All right, there we are. Here's a red. I'm getting very confused now. Here's a red for you, here's a blue for you. Turn around this way so everybody can see. Everyone shuffle back just a little bit. That's it, good. That's right, so a red and a blue, and all I need is a yellow. You see, I'm a yellow. Now I'm going to wave my yellow one. What? It's what? No, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, I'm going to wave... At the top? Okay, now... I'm going to wave my yellow one. Was there something wrong with that? Was it wiggling? I don't see anything wrong with it, though. Where? Down here? Yeah. Where? Where is it? Oh, look at that. It's gone a bit... That's no good. It's not supposed to be like that. I'll fix it. You just have to tighten it up, you see. Tighten it up. Oh, look. Don't worry, I've got a spare one. Right. Okay, so now we've got 3 magic wands. You've got a red one, you've got a blue one, and I've got a yellow one. We're all going to wave them together over the box, and everybody's going to call out the magic words abracadabra. 1, 2, 3. Now, if it works this time inside the... look at that. It's working already. Let me take out, first of all, the red one. You're going to look after that. There's the blue one, you're going to look after that. Here's the yellow one, I'm going to look after this. Give them all a nice big clap, folks. Very good. Now, here's what happens. 3 handkerchiefs. Now, we'll test everybody out to see how good you are with your colours. 3 different coloured handkerchiefs. There's a red one, a blue one, and a yellow one. So we'll test everybody out to see how good you are. We've got red and... They called that one blue. They're not very good at this, are they? All right, we'll do it again. We've got... And... So we're going to try to tie these handkerchiefs together in a nice little knot. Good. Right. Now. Okay. Back inside the box. Lid back on top. This time we're going to try to tie them together in a nice little chain. Are you ready with your magic wand? Over the top of the box, okay? Here we go. After 3, 1, 2, 3. That's perfect. Now, Ben, all you need to do is to give the box a little tap just there. But no, not there. Just there, look, just there. No, not there. Just there, look, there. There, no. Right, and Arabella, just give the box a little tap right there. Good, very good, right. Okay, now if this has worked... Inside here, my goodness, this looks good so far. Would you reach in there and take that out for me? Yeah. There's the red one. Look, it's tied onto the yellow one. It's tied onto the blue one. Give them a nice big clap, everybody. Isn't that fantastic? Very good. Now, you guys have made such a good job of helping me with this magic. I think it's a good idea for you to get a balloon to take home. What do you think?
A sword.
What? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a good idea, Ben?
Yes!
All right. Okay. Let me give this a try. One of these, perhaps.
I have a doll.
Okay, come around this side, Ben. Here we go. Now watch this very carefully. Right. Now, the red one. Now, you remember what happened last time? The red one looks a little bit like a pair of lips, but it's not. It's not a pair of ears, and this time it's not a swing either. I want you to watch this very carefully. It looks a little bit now like a bunch of sausages. But watch this part. A little squeeze of the sausages, and if this works, it turns into a little red flower. Now, one of the pink ones. Here we go. This makes a red flower for Arabella, and everyone's going to give her a nice big clap. Terrific. You can sit down too. Thank you. Now, Ben, I think it's time for you to get a balloon too. What do you think? Okay, right. Let me show.
A dog.
A dog for you. All right. We'll do requests. A dog for you. So this is going to be a dog for Ben. There we go. Around here and around there. A little pink dog for you, Ben. Everybody give Ben a nice big clap. Fantastic. Right. Give a clap to everybody who came to help. Give a clap to yourselves for being such good magician's assistants. And last of all, give a big clap to me. Thank you very much. Very good. All right.
So this is a nice, simple, quick effect to act as a warm-up for the show. And it's a rabbit from a hat. And this is produced by Laughlin Magic. Quite an easy thing to find. A little rabbit silk and a magic hat silk, a thumb tip, and all I've done is added an opera hat. So at the beginning, I fold up the silk. Now fortunately for me, my hat is red and so is the silk, so it sort of blends in quite nicely. So this is just tucked inside the opera hat once it's folded up. So that means I can come out with the hat. It's tucked away inside. Open the hat up. Apparently I'm going to produce a rabbit. I reach in and somehow strangely I've produced a hat from a hat, which seems as if it might be wrong. There we are, hat from a hat. And now second part is I've got the rabbit silk, which is already loaded up inside the thumb tip. And of course it allows me, once I've produced that hat, to then reach inside and apparently produce a rabbit. I start by poking a little bit up as if it's the rabbit's ears, take this piece out, show that the rabbit is on the hanky, and that's it. It's simple, it's visual, it's a quick trick to open the show. Rabbit from the hat.
The instant flower production, or the flower from wand, is a simple little magic trick that you can find in any magic shop. I like to wave the wand around and then produce the flower as quickly as I can. It looks very dramatic and very magical. It's a very simple and very inexpensive trick. Now, to go one step further than that, you get this wonderful flower tube. It's essentially the same effect, but some extra things have been added to it to make it very much bigger and very much more dramatic. And it plays terrifically well in a kids show or in a stage presentation. So at the beginning, the tube, which is very obviously empty, is placed on the base. You take the wand, you wave it around, and apparently a flower is going to appear inside. What I like to do is to make it not work the first few times and then explain that I have to make the wand work inside the tube. And then I like to produce the flower without anyone knowing what's going on. So I'll have the flower appear instantly inside the tube whilst I'm not looking. And then I carry on talking and allow the kids to tell me that that's what's happened. Yep, the flower has appeared inside the tube. Wait and let it sink in for a moment and then instantly produce the rest of the flowers like this. Now, the method for this tube is really exactly the same as the small one. It's magnetic and it's very, very simple. Except with the larger one, you need a little tool in order to set it. And I'll show you how it works so you can see how simple it is. The flowers go in the outer corners and they're concealed in 4 little tubes in the corner of the main tube. You push them down inside as far as you can, being careful to make sure that they're going in with the magnets going first. And once all 4 are in place, you use the special setting tool to allow you to pull them down inside. It's magnetic and it's just simply pulling those flowers inside the tube so they're completely concealed. There we are. And now the tube really does look completely empty from any angle. You won't need this tool until later. Now the single flower goes inside the wand. Again, push it down as far as you can. You don't need the tool, you can just tap it so that the magnet goes all the way down to the bottom end, and that way it's going to be easy to produce. So on the base there are 5 magnets. There's one in each of the 4 corners and then one central one. So in setting the tube, all you need to do is to plop it down on the base, and when you do that, the 4 magnets on the outer corners will contact, so those 4 bunches of flowers are ready to appear. You need to hang on to the tube to make sure it doesn't fall down, and it's quite easy to do that just by pushing your thumb against the back of it, and it locks it in against the base. Then when you put the wand down inside, all you're going to do is to wave the wand around a little bit inside. You allow the magnet to contact inside, and then when you remove the wand, the flower will instantly appear. This looks pretty impressive as it is, the flower appearing from the wand, but you're now set up for a very colourful and very dramatic finale. Again, I like to do this without the kids actually seeing, or without me looking at the tube. The kids see the flowers really before I do. Pull off the tube and you've got an instant, colourful and very impressive production. So that's it, the flower from the wand and the flower tube.
The double colour change silks, it's a classic magic shop trick. It's cheap and fun and very simple. Great thing to put towards the beginning of the show. It's a thing that could be used easily as a warm-up item. There's a metal ring inside here, and this metal ring is the thing that does all of the work. Just going to grab the end, being careful not to make it peep. Show it a couple of times, 1, 2, and on the 3rd sweep you're going to grab the ring and just pull straight down. You've got an instant change. It's just such a simple item. It's been around for many years. It's got a lot of uses. It works well with the colouring book. It works well as a warm-up item. This is a great simple thing. Double colour change silks. The chameleon streamer is a very versatile piece of magic, and I've had a lot of uses for it over the years in various shows. In this particular performance you'll see me using it along with the colouring book to apparently catch the colours ready to make the book nice and coloured. It's simply a silk streamer which turns inside out, so by grabbing the inside portion and shaking it, it will apparently change colour. In fact, what's happening is it's just turning very quickly inside out. This is slightly bigger than the usual one. This one is made, I think, in China perhaps, or Taiwan. It's a little bit bigger than the usual one and a little bit more colourful, so if you can find this one, I think it's better. Really, when you're performing this kind of stuff for kids, you need to get as much business out of it, but it's nice because it just provides a nice little magical moment. They think that they're throwing you the colours and it really looks like you're catching them. So it's a nice strong piece of magic, even though it's not much to carry, a simple visual thing. So that's the chameleon streamer. Let's just talk for a couple of moments about the magic colouring book. A couple of things I want to say about this. The first one is that this particular book is a newer one and it's a large size. So if you can hunt around and find this one, it's a big size book which is perfect if you're going to work for schools, libraries, shopping centres. You need something that's a bit bigger and a bit more visual. Sometimes when I'm out and about with the kids, I see magicians or clowns on the side of the road or in shopping centres or at fetes and various events using colouring books that really look like they've been dragged through a war. This is a cheap item. If it starts to get worn out and daggy, throw it away and get another one. It needs to look nice and bright. Second thing I want to say is think about what it is that you're saying and what it is that you're showing. It's not just a trick to show how clever you are. Try and think about why it is that you would be carrying the colouring book around. Simple story like I bought it for my nephew, it's his birthday present and they forgot to put the pictures in. It's a simple plot and it makes a little bit of sense and a little bit of reason for having this. Try not to blow the thing away in 10 seconds. It's a nice strong piece of magic. In fact, I've got a very vivid memory of seeing a magician when I was 5 or 6 years of age performing the colouring book. It stuck with me for an awful lot of years. So it is a strong piece of magic. Don't just blow it away. That's it. All I need to say about the magic colouring book. In some shows I like to do 2 routines that would require some switching or other. And so rather than use 2 change bags in the same routine, I created this sort of tarbell style switch box. This one is looking a little old and tatty now, but in a moment I'm going to show you exactly how to go about making it. But this provides the perfect alternative to a change bag. It's just got a simple flap inside, pretty much like a change bag would be, and the good news is that it's very, very easy to make. So let's take a look at exactly how to go about constructing a switch box. So the first thing you're going to need is one of these. This is a box which you can buy from the $2 shop in Australia, the dime shop or the pound shop, whatever you call them wherever you live. And it's a box which is made for gifts, primarily of course, bottles of wine. And this one still has the price tag on the back. It's $2.95 in Australia, which is really less than $2, or less than £2, probably about $2.50 or so American, less than £2 in England. So it's a very cheap item to buy. The first thing you're going to do is to cut the tube down so that it is a little over half its usual height. This is about 20 or 22 centimeters, which is probably around sort of 7 or 8 inches tall. So you need to cut the top off. So let's go about doing that first. So once you've removed the top from the tube, you're going to make a portion inside which allows the flap to move from side to side. If you can imagine, inside here there is a flap which is going to seesaw from one side to the other, allowing you to produce, vanish, or change any items that are put inside the box. So don't throw this piece away, because that's the piece you're going to need to make the base inside this box. You need to mark it up about 3.5 centimeters, or around 1.5 inches from one edge. Once you've made that mark, you're going to cut it across to make a portion to fit inside the box. Again, I'm doing this a little quicker and with a little less care than I might otherwise do, but it will show you exactly what you need to do. So, once it's marked up, I'm now going to cut through these 2 edges. This will leave you with what is in effect like a little bridge, and that's going to go inside this box in just a moment. The rest of this now you will not need.
Now, since this will go inside the box, you need to make sure that it's the right size, and it should be a little too big. Mine is a little too long, so I'm just going to trim a little off the end. Again, I would be measuring this up with a bit more care. I'm just whipping through this so that you can see exactly how it should be. There we are. Should be enough. Yep, good. So this is now the same size as the internal dimensions of this box. Now I'm going to cut a slot across this portion, and that slot needs to be around 1/2 inch in from each end. The slot needs to be reasonably thick. It's got to be thicker than the thickness of a knife blade, probably around 1/4 of an inch, or what's that, around 3 millimeters thick. So I'll go ahead and cut that slot right now. So once you finish cutting the slot, it should be around 2 or 3 millimeters across, and it should stop about just under 1 centimeter from each side. This piece will go in the bottom of the tube and will allow the flap to move back and forth. Once you've finished this, the next thing you need to do is to cut away a portion in the bottom of the box. This is done with a small lip all the way round, and that lip is around 1 centimeter or just under 1/2 inch all the way around the outside. So we'll go ahead and cut that square out right now. So now we're almost finished with the basic construction. Let me show you how all of this is going to come together. I've got this little bridge which has the slot cut in it. I've cut the bottom portion out of this tube, this box, so that it has a lip all the way around the outside. And I've also gone ahead and started to make the flap. I've made this with 2 pieces of art card, and I find that rather than using one thick piece, which is a little tricky to cut, that it is easier to use 2 pieces and to bond them together. I've cut out a little slot at the bottom so that this is around perhaps 1 inch or just over 2 centimeters from the bottom. I've cut a little slot, and the same on the others. So when these are bonded together, and I do that just using a glue stick, when these are bonded together, this will form quite a firm flap. Now, to show you what's going on here, when this is inserted in through the slot, it will enable you from underneath to operate the flap with your fingers, and it will move back and forth in this way. So now I go ahead and push this into the box, and I put a little bit of glue on the inside edge on both sides, push all this all the way down inside. So because it's a bridge, it's now raised up from the base of the box, which means that I can put the flap down in through the slot, and I'll be able to operate it from underneath with my fingers. Now at this point you need to work out how much to take off the flap, and I probably need to take another couple of inches or so off this flap. So now this obviously would be glued at this point, and I'd take it off with a knife. I'm just going to use scissors for speed. Done. This flap goes inside, and I'm pushing this part all the way through the slot that I made in the bottom portion. So I now have a flap inside the box which I can operate from underneath, just using my fingers underneath this bottom portion. Now, before I go ahead and fix the flap, I'm now going to tidy this up and make it look like something a little smarter and the sort of thing that I'd be happy to have in my show. So I start by spraying inside and out all of this portion with some black paint, which I just got from the hardware store, so it looks a little like this. And then I cover the lid and the outside with some of this prismatic material. And this, you can get it from art shops, but I think this actually I got just from the supermarket. And so it makes it look a little smarter and a little like something you'd be happy using in your show. Once you've done that, take the flap, which of course will now be bonded, and spray it black also. It is possible to cover it with contact, and you can get contact which has a kind of flock on the outside, so it has a sort of fabric finish, and that does tend to not reflect the light as much, and it makes it look a little bit more deceptive inside. So if you can find that and you can go to the trouble to do that, you've got something that will last a little longer. The last thing I do with this box to tidy it up around the top is to put a single layer of gaff tape or duct tape. I've found a narrow one and I've cut a little strip of that and put it all the way around the outside, so it's a nice smooth edge at the top and you get rid of this roughness. So now you turn this into something which looks more like this. Once that's done, you're going to put the flap in place. That pushes all the way down through the slot at the bottom of the box. And once it's in place, you want to fix it so it won't fall out and that it'll act permanently inside. And the best way to do that is to put a small amount of duct tape on the inside on both sides of the flap. So you put it on one side first, then push the flap to the other side and put a piece of duct tape in there. And then you've got a tape hinge which will keep the flap inside. So now what we might do is to give you a close-up inside my switch box so you can see exactly how I'm operating it. So let's take a look close up at the inside of the box. Inside here is a flap which will open and close across the inside of the box. Anything that's put inside, a silk handkerchief for instance, once it goes inside, the flap can be pulled across and it's very easy to see that it's gone. Now, let's have a look underneath the box. It's working on a seesaw mechanism and my fingers are just moving the flap back and forth underneath. It's a very simple operation. It's allowing me with my fingers underneath the box to move the flap back and forth. So that's it, a close-up of the switch box.
So now you know how to make a switch box. Let me cover the routine that I used it for in the live show. This routine is based on an idea or routine that I saw many years ago, in fact probably when I was a kid, for a local children's entertainer in my area at the time, Dennis Collins. Dennis also had a version of this which was published by Mark Leveridge, and I believe it may have even been in the Magigram at one point as well. And for Dennis's routine, he had coloured pencils which were waved over a little bag to make them to make the handkerchiefs appear. But this version uses coloured ones, and I'll come back to those in just a moment. So apart from the switch box, what you need are 3 handkerchiefs which are tied together in a chain, and also a set of 3 separate ones. So the handkerchiefs which are tied together go into the switch box to start with, on one side of the flap, and then directly over the top of those, on the same side, go the 3 individual handkerchiefs. And once that's done, I'm going to push the flap across and make sure that none of the handkerchiefs are poking out so that it's possible to show the inside of the box when the routine starts. I have the box set so that I'm pulling the flap towards me, so when I lift it up I know that I can do that and I can show the inside of the box quickly at that stage. So the box is set ready to go, and I've got the wands very easy to get hold of inside the box at that point. Let me cover the wands just for a second. As I mentioned before, Dennis Collins' original routine had coloured pencils that were waved by the kids. I've changed that idea to coloured wands. So I've got 3 standard coloured wands, a yellow one, a red one and a blue one. I've made 2 coloured breakaway wands quite easily by just taking regular breakaways, masking up the tips and then spraying the middle part just using some spray from the hardware shop. And I've also made a tipple top wand in the yellow colour. This was, you can buy these, but it's pretty hard to find them these days. Supreme used to carry this wand. This one has been made by gluing the segments of a breakaway wand together in the middle, covering it with vinyl and then spraying it afterwards. So this enables you to have the end still, and then when you release the tension on the other end, you've got one end which appears to be loose. So you can almost get the same actions that you can get with the flipple tipple wand, but without the extra expense and the extra digging around trying to find one. Obviously you can make this for about $5 or $10. So the end can be loose, which looks very funny as it is. You can snap it and then make the other end loose as well. So that's the wands. So the beginning part of the routine involves me lifting up the box, and I'm going to apparently take out 3 invisible handkerchiefs. This is silly in itself, but inside here apparently are the 3 invisible hankies. Go back to the show and you'll see how much fun I can get out of this, which is really absolutely nothing. Now I'm going to make the handkerchiefs visible. So the box is closed. I allow the flap to flip over, and now at this stage, just by shaking the top of the box, the handkerchiefs will begin to peep over the edge of the box, and they're ready to come out. It's very obvious that they've appeared. So the 3 handkerchiefs, the loose ones, come out. Once that's done, I then just maneuver the flap over again so that I can briefly show the box to be empty. When the handkerchiefs go back in, and of course in between times I've got the gags of the stuff with the colours of the handkerchiefs. In a sense, what I'm doing with this is the same as I was doing on the first volume, which is where we were counting the loops, the coloured loops, and showing them to be 3 different colours apparently, but picking up the second loop, the first loop twice instead of the second loop. You can do the same with the handkerchief. So I grip them between my first 2 or second 2 fingers, grab the red one, show that, come back as if I'm going to grab the yellow one, and then show the red one again. Everybody calls out red or yellow, and when it's actually the red. So it's just a quick gag, extra piece of business. Now, flipping the flap across so that the box is apparently empty, those handkerchiefs go back inside, and now they're going to get tied together. And then, of course, all you need to do is to whip the flap across, and you can pull them out. Quickly show the box again at the end, and you've got 3 handkerchiefs which have apparently tied together. Really no effort whatsoever. Simple box and a few hankies makes a nice, fun, colourful routine for your kids' show. So that's the switch box.
Thank you.